Now on over to Kentucky, where an emergency meeting is set to take place at Churchhill Downs. That, of course, the home of the Kentucky Derby. 12 horses have died there recently. Horse Racing's Oversight Authority wants to know exactly what's been going on, especially what happened leading up to the Kentucky Derby. They plan to question several top officials at America's most famed horse racing track. That's where we find News Nation's Robert Sherman and joins us with more on tomorrow's meeting. Robert, I got to imagine, if anyone's ever been to Louisville for the Derby, this has got to be the biggest story there in the state of Kentucky today, I would imagine.
Without question, Blake, and I can tell you there's a lot of frustration to go around here, not just from organizers, but from fans as well, as there seems to be a lot more questions than answers at this hour, with 12 different horses succumbing to racing-related injuries and ultimately having to be euthanized. That is typical for the sport to have some of that, but that number pretty staggering for officials here. So we have heard from the Horse Racing Integrity and Safety Authority. They've released a statement saying, quote, "We continue to seek answers and we are working diligently with Churchhill Downs and the Kentucky Horse Racing Commission to mitigate any additional risk." We know that investigators are going to be arriving at the track this week to investigate not just the racing surface, but also the training areas as well. Keep in mind, 7 different horses died of racing-related injuries leading up to the running of the Kentucky Derby itself earlier this month. The early favorite to win that race, Fort, was also scratched due to an injury, but did not have to be euthanized. So there's a lot of questions here, as this is so outside the norm for what they're used to seeing. And the authorities involved with this say they want to get to the bottom of what exactly is going on. Listen to this.
It's been devastating, generally, honestly, and truly, for the executives at Churchill Downs. It's a tremendous responsibility to feel like you are in a position to potentially protect horses, to avoid the sort of thing that we've been seeing lately, which has been incredibly tough.
Racing is supposed to resume at Churchill Downs on Thursday, but there have been some organizations such as PETA which have called for racing to be put to a halt until they know what exactly is going on with the raceway. HISA says that they will be giving out a report tomorrow on their recommendation. It is possible they will recommend a pause on racing at Churchill Downs, but they're not saying anything with finality at this hour. Blake?
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.